This is the day which the Lord hath made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. Psalm 118:24. Our lesson title today is Samuel Prays for Victory. The lesson text can be found in 1 Samuel chapter 7, verses 1 through 12. The lesson aim is to show that God helped his people when they turned to him. The time was 1047 BC, and the places Mizpah and between Mizpah and Shan. 1 Samuel chapter 7 verses 1 through 6. And the men of Kirjath-jearim came and fetched up the ark of the Lord, and brought it into the house of Abinadab in the hill, and sanctified Eleazar his son to keep the ark of the Lord. And it came to pass, while the ark abode in Kirjath-jearim, that the time was long, for it was 20 years. And all the house of Israel lamented after the Lord. And Samuel spake unto all the house of Israel, saying, If ye do return unto the Lord with all your hearts, then put away the strange gods and Ashtaroth from among you, and prepare your hearts unto the Lord, and serve him only, and he will deliver you out of the hand of the Philistines. Then the children of Israel did put away Baalim and Ashtaroth, and served the Lord only. And Samuel said, Gather all Israel to Mizpah, and I will pray for you unto the Lord. And they gathered together to Mizpah, and drew water, and poured it out before the Lord that day, and said there, We have sinned against the Lord. And Samuel judged the children of Israel in Mizpah. 1 Samuel chapter 7 verses 7 through 12. And when the Philistines heard the children of Israel were gathered together to Mizpah, the lords of the Philistines went up against Israel. And when the children of Israel heard it, they were afraid of the Philistines. And the children of Israel said to Samuel, Cease not to cry unto the Lord our God for us, that he will save us out of the hand of the Philistines. And Samuel took a sucking lamb, and offered it for a burnt offering holy unto the Lord. And Samuel cried unto the Lord for Israel, and the Lord heard him. And Samuel was offering up the burnt offering. The Philistines drew near to battle against Israel. But the Lord thundered with a great thunder on that day upon the Philistines, and discomfited them, and they were smitten before Israel. And the men of Israel went out of Mizpah, and pursued the Philistines, and smote them until they came under Bethkar. Then Samuel took a stone, and set it between Mizpah and Shan, and called the name of it Ebenezer, saying, Hitherto hath the Lord helped us. A few vocabulary terms that we will learn throughout the lesson. Boon, which is something to be thankful for, blessing, or benefit. Discomfited, make feel uneasy or embarrassed, or make someone feel uneasy or embarrassed. Lamented. Lament is defined as to feel loss, sorrow, or regret, often expressed in a physical way. Tabernacle was the portable earthly dwelling place of Yahweh, used by the children of Israel from the Exodus until the conquest of Canaan. The Ark of the Covenant, also known as the Ark of the Testimony, and in few verses across various translations as the Ark of God. It's a golden covered wooden chest with lid, described in the book of Exodus as containing the 2 stone tablets of the 10 Commandments. The veil separated the holy place from the inner Holy of Holies inside the tent of meeting. It hid a holy God who dwelt above the mercy seat on the Ark of the Covenant from sinful people on the outside. The lesson discussion: returning the Ark, returning to God, the meeting at Mizpah, Ebenezer, where God helped. Samuel is actually the last of the judges and the first in line of prophets. He was born to Elkanah and Hannah. Samuel was dedicated to God at birth. and he was taken to the tabernacle and raised by Eli the priest. At a young age, Samuel was called by God to a special ministry. When the Philistines defeated Israel in battle and captured the Ark of Covenant, the Philistines soon learned that the ark was not the boon they expected, so they returned it to Israel. The Ark of Covenant is a chest that held tablets engraved with the Ten Commandments. When the Philistines captured it, outbreaks of tumors and disease afflicted them, forcing the Philistines to return the ark after 7 months. The men of Kirjath-jearim retrieved the ark and took it to a man named Amminadab. His son, Eleazar, was set apart and sanctified to take care of the ark. Israel was believed that their God had forgotten and abandoned them. Samuel understood that the problem was that they left God and not the other way around. He instructed them to stop worshiping false gods and return to God. Then God would deliver them. The people gathered together and poured out water before the Lord, fasted, and confessed to God their sins. They chose Samuel to lead them and be their judge. The Philistines were nervous about the news because it meant trouble for them. The Philistines gathered their armies, and the Israelites were frightened and told Samuel to pray for God to help them. Samuel sacrificed a young lamb and cried out to God to save the people, and the Lord heard him. The Philistines approached, and God thundered with the sound of great thunder on them. They were confused, and Israel battled the Philistines, chasing them to Bethkar. Then Samuel set up a memorial stone named Ebenezer. Ebenezer means stone of help. God himself had helped them at that place. Here are some DLK questions, or depth of knowledge questions, for the intermediate students in the red and primary questions in the blue. Question 1 for the intermediate group. What information can you gather to support your idea about what happened to the ark? 2. Can you elaborate on what Samuel asked the people of Israel to do? Primary questions. Number 1. Can you name the main character in the story? Question number 2. Can you identify the setting of the story? Here are some links for your enjoyment. We have some homework links. Please remember that they're found in the description below the YouTube video. There are books of the Bible, John 3:16, a song entitled Rise and Shine, the 23rd Psalm, and the Lord's Prayer. Again, I would like to say thank you for joining me in Sunday school. Know that I love you, and I'm praying for each one of you. Thank you for joining us, Erica, Faith, Jalen, Timothy, Skylar, Tyler, Grace, Nevaeh, Leroy, CJ, DeMarco, Zanaya, India, Victoria, Grant, and Taylor. Have a blessed week.